Hello, introduce yourself.
My name is Dominic, and we're owning 80% of the economic growth rate, and also 100% of that is from my parents.
Hi, I'm Steph and I'm single. I like to shop, I like to surf the internet. I don't like street food and those things, they're so yeah.
Good afternoon. Hi, I am Gia Reyes and I came from the province. I came here to study. And I love reading books and I don't like to surf the internet because it's a disadvantage to teenagers because you guys listen, okay? This is for our future. The future of the Philippines, the future of our country is in our hands. Thank you.
Now, watch this video.
Similar to the effect that motion has on time, there's a relativistic effect involving length as well. With time dilation and length contraction together, we can now see the final solution of how Einstein's postulate allows the two starships to measure the same speed of light. Space and time, like classical velocities, are only relative.
Explain it.
Explain that irrelevant video. I don't know, I don't care. It's just universe, stars, and children friends like me.
About that video, my God, I don't have anything to comment about that. That's not cool. Not like me. I'm cooler than the universe. My God, what do you say about that? God-given? I'm the God-given one. I'm perfect.
That means that his main point is the elements which comprise this theory is not a hypothesis, okay? It's an empirical discovery. These guys know nothing about, they didn't understand the video. Actually, the video is really important. It talks about everything. It explains everything. It explains why we're here. It explains the future. It would explain.
Speaking and listening are both part of one's process. When someone speaks, someone listens. Can you understand what you hear? This is Tongues and Beyond, and the effective language as medium of instruction.
clarify things. Having one's language makes a country being proud of their culture. Language is one major trademark that reflects on their culture.
The American colonial occupation highly influenced Filipinos. It has turned us into brown Americans as we learn their language like our own.
In patronizing English means to make innovation and using trademarks from the standard English of the Americans into our own Philippine English language. Over the years, there have been debates on effective language used as a medium of instruction. The effectiveness of the language used as a medium of instruction is essential because the student's learning ability will be influenced by the language used by the teacher.
Some argue that English language should be used in order for Filipinos to practice and improve their English proficiency skills.
On the other hand, there are also language experts who agree that using Filipino language as a medium of instruction in early childhood is better because as a child grows older, it is easier for him to understand English if he learns his mother tongue.
Then again, both parties do not encourage the use of bilingual as a medium of instruction because they believe that it is a setback to master at least one language. Imagine if Filipinos will use foreign dialects in the country. Will they be able to understand what each other want to say? But then again, it only reflects how diverse our language and culture is.
Medium of instruction is the language used in teaching. It may or may not be the official language used in a country or territory. Bilingual or multilingual education can involve the use of more than one language as a medium of instruction. UNESCO considers that providing education to a child's mother tongue is indeed a critical.
So come and join us as we discover what our fellow Thomasians prefer in pursuit of higher learning. Let's also see what the experts think about it.
Good speaking skills allow you to express your ideas more clearly, while good listening skills help you to retain more of what you hear. There are many circumstances when you will be asked to speak to a group of people. Most of the time, you will speak to others in informal situations such as speaking in class discussions, giving directions, or making introductions. Historically, man used to make sounds to express his thoughts and feelings. Later on, these sounds became words. Words were then structured in the form of different languages. Language learning is very important to generate and express thoughts and ideas. The whole world becomes easily accessible through language, as learning different languages broadens our mind to accept the culture and lifestyle of various nations in the world. It also helps to enable trade among different countries. New inventions in science and technology are documented and published in many languages. Today, communication is taking place among those who have acquired scientific qualifications after years of dedicated studies. The use of one language across the globe is a fascinating concept, but it is not possible in practical life. Hence, language learning helps to solve all the problems faced due to lack of communication and understanding between people of different nations and cultures.
Studies show that 8 out of 10 Filipinos can speak English so well. It is given that we Filipinos are the topmost in terms of English proficiency. We can really speak well in English. It is because of the American colonization that happened in the past. We were able to adopt their language and practice their usage in our daily lives. This is on the English-speaking survey. Now, how about in terms of mathematics and science? On the other side of the coin, data shows that the quality of education in the Philippines is declining. According to DepEd, almost majority of the students don't pass the National Achievement Test, an annual examination for students in grade 6 and second year high school to test their knowledge about the different subjects that they undertake. In 2009, only 68% of the students passed in elementary. Consequently, high school didn't reach even half of it, with only 46%. The scores of these students in international tests are not in a good condition as well. According to DepEd, Philippines is in the 43rd place over 46 countries which competed in the trends in international mathematics and science studies in 2003. Moreover, in 2008, we are in the bottom of the list in the category of advanced mathematics. Why is this so? For many years, we are using the English language as our primary medium of instruction. This is under the 1987 Constitution of the Philippines, Executive Order Number 210, which requires the use of English as the medium of instruction in Philippine schools.
The origin or the birth of English being used as a medium of instruction started off during the American occupation. So as early as 1900, okay, as we know, one of the contributions, one of the legacies of the American occupation is actually education. As early as 1900, the Americans, when they occupied the country, set up a compulsory public education with English as the medium of instruction in all courses. But of course, during that time, the teachers were all military soldiers whose only qualification was that they were native speakers. So they knew English and they spoke different varieties of English because the American soldiers came from different countries, different states in the US. And unfortunately, since they were not trained to be teachers, I would say that they didn't have the methods, no? You know, the correct way of teaching subjects.
Why does the Philippines have a poor understanding in mathematics and science? Countries such as Japan, Korea, and Taiwan use their mother tongue as their primary medium of instruction. Because of this, they excel in science and mathematics because they have a full understanding of it, for they use the language that they can easily understand. They have become economic powerhouses even if their populations have spoken only their respective national languages. They didn't need English to reach heights of economic development. But these nations doesn't disregard the usage of the English language in schools. As a matter of fact, Japanese, for example, are accepting the pragmatic view that Japan's future as a leading industrial nation will critically hinge on its population mastering the English language. But still, they are nurturing their culture that lessons can be easily learned if it will be used on the language they can easily understand and comprehend.
In UP, for example, they tried to implement this such that physics and other related subjects were taught in Filipino the UP way, how Filipino then was spoken in UP. So there could be a lot of borrowing, okay? And of course, it's not fair to compare the achievement of the students in a third world country like ours to those of Japan, for example. Okay, even our students probably have lacked the interest in math generally. Yeah, that's one of the reasons and one of the perceptions of the students, isn't it? Like, but still, the fact is, when they take the test, it's in English.
So, does this phenomenon in the Philippines require for change? Is English really applicable and effective as we are using it as our primary medium of instruction? That's why we conducted a survey on what is the most preferred language to be used in schools by the students. They will choose among English alone, Filipino alone, or bilingual, or as we all know, Taglish. So these are their answers and comments.
I think effective medium of instruction should be bilingual because you can't explain some terms in English alone because sometimes you have to explain it in the mother tongue so that students can understand it well and comprehend the subject even further. That's all.
Well, bilingual because of course we're Filipino students and we should be proud of our rich Filipino heritage of our own native language, but at the same time we should cope with the dynamic and ever-changing culture in the Philippines and in the world, since English is language of business nowadays.
I believe that English is more effective because it is taught to us by one of our professors that English should be a target language because in Asia it is said that India is the top one of better English speakers more than Filipinos.
Be bilingual because there are some terms that can be translated in Filipino while other terms are used in Tagalog. And also other Filipinos are not capable of understanding the English language. So we should use the Filipino language, while on the other hand, those who can understand the Filipino language should use the English language.
Hi, I'm Jainee. I think lecturing in English alone is effective because Filipinos are known for a good English speaker. So Filipino college students need to practice English.
We should say it this way, okay? With Filipino given more chances as medium of instruction, it actually means it will eat up the domains or subjects that used to be taught in English. Okay, when the world was young, probably late 60s, practically all the subjects were taught in English. But with bilingual ed starting 1974, we said there would be subjects taught in English, subjects taught in Filipino. So Filipino has actually ate up some of the subjects that used to be taught in English.
On the other hand, English cannot be removed from a student's education because this would threaten their English-speaking background. Given that the Filipino language is used in their day-to-day lives, they are open to all practices in speaking and listening in that language. However, the vast majority of the youth do not have enough occasions in their normal lives to speak and listen to English language. It is only inside the classroom where they can be obliged to speak the language. In order to compete globally, proficiency in the English language is needed. Those who are not familiar with the English language will cause a setback for the country's economic opportunities. Thus, students need to learn the English language to be able to respond to the needs of the country and the community of nations. Using bilingual as a medium of instruction for students will help them familiarize not only in one language but two. The proficiency in one language is not enough for economic and educational success. Filipinos need their native language as well as foreign language, which is the English language. Global communication often requires the ability to function in more than one language. The Bilingual Policy of Education 1987 aims to improve the use of Filipino and English language. By teaching in a bilingual method, students will be able to understand what is being taught to them. In reality, there is only one language of instruction in practically all classrooms in the country. It is Taglish.